Hi, and welcome to Life with Lisa Bradshaw. On the show today, in the studio, we have an award-winning teacher. She is the Guada STEM Educator of the Year. Mrs. Brown is here with us today. She's a 5th grade teacher at Lincoln Elementary. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
We also have Betsy Gomez, who is here also as from your 5th grade class. Thanks for being here. So tell me about your award that you won recently.
Sure. The Guada Association, the Greater Wenatchee Area Technology Alliance, chose me as one of the top 3 finalists for STEM Educator of the Year. My understanding is they were very inspired by all of the work that I've done with incorporating STEM and careers here in the Wenatchee Valley.
Well, I was telling Betsy before the show that just recently I even learned what STEM means. Not as recently as, like this show, but science, technology, engineering, math. When I was a student, we just had science and math. We didn't have technology and engineering, so that's a whole new concept. So what do you like about the STEM program in your classroom?
Well, something that I like about STEM is that we get to do projects with it, but we have to incorporate all of the like science, technology, engineering, and math all in one challenge. So it could be challenging sometimes, but it's also fun.
So you have to fit all of those concepts into one project.
Yeah.
So one thing that I'm really impressed by when reading all about you, Mrs. Brown, Tina Brown, is your ability to raise funds, which seems to be what is necessary for you to get the things done you want to do in your classroom. So talk with us a little bit about that.
Well, my passion in teaching is to expose kids to as many experiences as I can. And I like to have the students tell me what they're wanting to learn about. And so you can't necessarily follow a traditional curriculum when you do that. So through support of different grants, such as the Washington STEM grant, this year I received $5,000 specifically to incorporate careers in our valley. I've received grants from the North Central ESD for smaller projects such as solar panel integration, and just this coming June we're going to be taking kids to Pybus to learn how to cook in the community kitchen. I've received other grants from the Community Foundation for not only my classroom, but to incorporate school-wide events. The Every Child at the Pack grant has supported my students attending the opera this year. And I've also reached out not only to the Wenatchee Education Association, but also to our school PTA.
Now, when you say received, what you really mean is you spent a whole lot of time writing and applying and doing everything it takes to get a grant. I have a nonprofit, so grants are not for wimps. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. The hardest part about it is getting across what you want to do with your students and the passion that they have in maybe 300 words or 400 words. But grant writing is also my challenge. So seeking out those different organizations that may not even know of Wenatchee to begin with, but also to realize that kids in the 5th grade want these experiences just like those in middle school and high school. So it's also a goal of mine when I'm writing these grants in the back of my head thinking, we need people to understand that our elementary kids are craving this.
So Betsy, tell me about the program you guys did with the safety helmets and testing them at Mission Ridge. What was involved with that?
So we were learning about the human brain and the frontal lobe and all of the parts of it, and we basically like grabbed the mannequin head and we had to, our challenge was to not smash the paintball while dropping it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also you learned about snowshoeing technology?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think about technology and snowshoeing. What's the connection?
Well, snowshoeing, I think that it involves technology because it's like the way of making them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that they function?
Yeah.
Because if they're too heavy or they aren't balanced, then they wouldn't be able to function properly?
Mm-hmm.
So
one of the things that a lot of people don't understand about the T in STEM is that technology just means any tool that helps you solve a problem.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean a computer. So what were some of the tools or the technology we used when we were building those snowshoes?
Well, we used like tape, string, sticks, and like some other stuff that we could find like just outside. with the for the snowshoes.
So ultimately, did they work?
Yeah.
Good. So you were successful.
Mhm.
So talk about the planned comprehensive career-connected experience called STEM Careers in Wenatchee.
Yes. Well, this was the ultimate project for my whole year. The Washington STEM grant provided me with $5,000 to not just take my classroom, but all 90 fifth graders at Lincoln Elementary. And so I planned 6 different events for students to interact not only with a STEM design challenge, but the careers. So the first one we did was we went to Wenatchee River Institute down at Barn Beach Reserve, where the students interacted with local biologists and field educators, and they learned about the different habitats and adaptations of animals. That in turn, we talked about how do humans adapt to the same environment and the same climate, which led to snowshoe developing. The students created their snowshoes, as Betsy said, and then I had snowshoes that I borrowed for 2 weeks so that the students can use real snowshoes on campus. Then we went to Mission Ridge to learn about snowmaking, all the different careers and jobs that are available up at Mission Ridge, along with the ski school, down to the mechanics that run the groomers, the individuals that work in the cafeteria. And that's where after every 5th grader had a ski lesson, which was paid for using grant funds, we tested their safety helmets up there. The students saw the opera from the Cinderella opera from the Seattle Opera Company through Every Child at the Pack, and we learned about the different jobs in theater. Then we recently went to Pangbourne Airport, which was brand new for Pangbourne as well. Students there interacted with several local businesses such as Six Shooter and Century Aviation, where they learned